we're 18 holes, drill holes into this, and starting to produce develop a zinc silver project of some significant potential. And just, we don't know this yet, but when you start to see gold, gold becomes a vector at certain depths.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Dr. Tim Coughlan. He's the CEO of Royal Road Minerals. Tim, very good to speak with you. These seem like timely drilling results given current zinc and silver prices. What do these results from Saudi Arabia mean for Royal Road?
Hi, Stephen. Good to see you again. So I think zinc has been the best performing metal so far for 2026, which is fortuitous, for us. And silver's been doing well, had its ups and downs like gold for the last year or so. What does it mean for us? I think internally, at least, and I guess for some of our closest and largest shareholders, it's another example of Royal Road finding something, which we do quite regularly. I mean, I know discovery is a subjective term, so I use it with caution. But over let's see now, in 8 years, we've discovered, if you like, 5 new projects, whether that be Nicaragua, Morocco, Colombia, and now Saudi Arabia. So we are doing what's on the tin, on the lid of the tin, I guess. In digging a little bit deeper, what it was a project that had very little reflection of potential on surface, and a very old drill hole from the 1980s, drilled by Rio Tinto with a very thin and average grade intersection of copper, no gold on surface. And so what we've managed to do, by way of some complex unraveling of structural geometry, is produce a target that exists at depth. And now I think we're 18 holes, drill holes into this, and starting to produce develop a zinc silver project of some significant potential. And just, we don't know this yet, but when you start to see gold, gold becomes a vector at certain depths. When you start to see gold emerging within your polymetallic package, then it's telling you that there's probably a larger intrusive source somewhere. It's going to be difficult to unravel because of all the folding in this part of the world, but we will unravel it, and we will attempt to get some drill holes into that intrusion. So we're starting to see a project of scale, I guess.
You've now outlined mineralization over more than 350 meters of strike. How much bigger could Hanash North become?
Well, in terms of strike, it's open. So it's open in both the northwest and southeast direction. And in fact, there is an old IP axis, chargeability axis, so IP geophysics axis that Rio defined back in the early 80s, which continues and also remains open in both directions. So along strike, it's open, and down plunge, it is open also towards the northwest. So we really don't know. The geometry we are confident of is the thickness, and so we're getting downhole thicknesses of up to 20 odd meters of zinc mineralization at very shallow depths. The plunge is very shallow, plunge is a vector from the surface. So if it's steep, it's 90 degrees. The plunge is around about 15-20 degrees, and so we're staying within that first top 100 meters of the surface for quite a distance now.
As you said, the mineralization remains open, and you haven't yet identified the causative intrusion. What are you looking for in the next phase of exploration, Tim?
Well, we haven't done any diamond drilling yet. This has all been reverse circulation drilling. So we're going to get some diamond drill holes into this. That'll allow us to take we'll get a better idea of geometry and vectoring. And we're going to be doing a little bit more geophysics. We've already started a self-potential survey. And I guess the guys have got some other ideas about what they want to do. But yeah, it's trying to follow this thing along strike and down plunge.
You recently raised some cash. What are your intentions with this money, and how quickly can it advance the exploration program?
Well, all of that cash we raise is dedicated for Colombia. And that's where I am now. And we're very excited about the potential here. We are I believe we are still the largest title holder in Colombia. We've got a lot to do here. So that's our principal focus. Saudi, we'll be holding discussions with our JV partners and with our largest shareholders over the coming days, and see how we want to advance that. Obviously, there are various alternatives.
Well, Tim, I hope you'll keep us updated on progress across both those projects. Thanks very much for your time today.
Thanks, Stephen. My pleasure. Thank you.
It's Dr. Tim Coughlan, the CEO of Royal Road Minerals.